in order to create a random number, we write the formula equals rand, parenthesis begin, parenthesis end. And we click on enter, and we get a number 0,868774. This number is different for each one of you, so this is the one that came out for me. And there's one more key press to learn now. It's called F9, and each time we press on F9, we get a new random number, and if we hold it, it will really shuffle them very quickly. As we can conclude from our formula, we get a number that's between, well, we should say between 0 and 1, but it's actually between 0 and the biggest number that can be is 0,9999. So it's between 0 and less than 1. Okay. Now, it should be noted that there's another function actually in Excel as well, which is called rand between, but we're not going to learn this right now. We're going to start by building our Excel skills up bit by bit, and the Excel function rand between cannot do some of the things we can do with rand. Okay, but now the first thing we want is, we don't want the numbers to be between 0 and almost 1, but rather bigger numbers. Then we write equals rand times, let's say, 100. Let me put those formulas to the formulas in written form to the side as well. Here it is. I'm just taking the formula and I'm putting the apostrophe. I'm putting the apostrophe in front of it, so it will actually be, this formula will then be visible. Okay, but now the other number that appears is now between what numbers? It's between 0 and 99,9. That's because, and of course, once again, if we click on F9, all the numbers will be given, all new numbers will be given to us. The reason why it's between 0 and 99,9 now is that, think of what was the smallest number before. The smallest number was 0, and the biggest number was 0,999. So the smallest number multiplied with 100 will still be 0, and the biggest number 0,999 multiplied with 100 will be almost 100, which is 99,99. So I think it's been drawn visually here at the beginning. Is like this is the small ratio, small and diapason, which is between 0 and 0,99, and now this here is the big one. This here is the big one. It's now between 0 and 99,99. So here it is. This is what we end up with when we multiply random with 100. Once again, the numbers varied between these two, and the smallest number was 0. When we multiplied with 100, it will still be 0. The bigger number was 0,99. When we multiplied with 100, it will be 99,99. So it's gonna be between these two, between 0 and 99,99. Okay. Now, what if we wanna select 1 out of 100 people, which is we still wanna get the number between 0 and 99 or 99,99, but we don't want the decimal places. In that case, we have one more difficult formula. This goes like this: equals rand parenthesis, and by the way, we forgot to say that rand doesn't have anything in its parentheses either, because it always gives you a random number with the same system. And now we still multiply it with 100, which makes it in the range of 0 to 99,99. Remember, never 100, because the rand didn't ever give us number 1. And now comes something more difficult from the future part that we'll see in the future as well. It is, we write an int around it. So we write an int around it. And let me say what comes out now. Let's say, just to put something forth on the side. Let's say we had a number 0,755. If we do it times 100, it's going to be 75,5. And now, so this is rand, this is times 100, and now let's say that we want to round it. So it's rounding, and 75,5, when you round it, it's going to be 76. And let's look another option. Let's say that the initial random number was 0,754, and we did a times 100, which gave us 75,4, and then we did rounding, which 75,4 rounded is 75. So here are the two options. It's either gonna be 76 or 75 after rounding. But now we have to say that this formula, this function called integer, this function always rounds things down. Always rounds things down. So the number here is going to be 75, because 75,5 is rounded down, and the number here is still gonna be 75. So here it is. Int always rounds down, and actually when we use here, we want to get the number without decimal places, then we should also always round things down. And the reason is that that there is actually a reason. We shouldn't go into right now into detail, but it's more correct to use int than rounding. Perhaps we'll talk about it in the future. And here it is. This number is between 0, and by the way, the biggest number, which before int was 99,99. Remember, int rounds down, so the biggest number here is 99 itself. It's never 100, so here it is. Okay, next thing to figure out would be how to get a number from not 0 to 99, but instead from 0 to 100. And it's really rather straightforward. Namely, to do that we have to say random number, and then we have to do random times, and now let's do random times 101. Okay, let's do an int over it as well. Int random times 101. Okay, let's put this formula up for display, and think of it. This first random was between 0 and 0,999. Now we're going to multiply it with 101. 0 multiplied with 101 will still be 0, and 0,9999, when we multiply it with 101, it's going to be actually 100,9999. So what this means is that since in the final step int will cut away comma places, this number 100,9999 will become 100. So here it is. This way, by using 101 instead, we will get numbers that will actually include 100 as a result. Let's see if, yeah, now I think it once slipped through. I was able to see 100 when I held the F9 key down. Okay, so we got the random number. We got it to the range from 0 to 100. We got it as an integer without decimal places to a range from 0 to 99 as an integer. And then finally we got it from 0 to 100, not only 99 but to 100, like that. And now comes the last point. So once again we have considered this 0.99, and now this near 100 situation. But now comes the last thing. Let's say that we want the number instead to be from minus 50 to plus 50. What do we have to do then? It turns out that we have to do it like this. Equals rand, which gives us 0 to 0.99, times 100, which gives us 0 to 99.99, and then we will have to do something like, let's say, let's begin by doing something like plus 50. Let's see what this will do. So we had a number that was between 0 and 100, and if we do plus 50 here, think of what happens to the smallest number. The smallest number used to be 0, and now it's plus 50, so the smallest number is plus 50. And the biggest number used to be almost 100, and now plus 50, it's almost 150. So this number used to be here between 0 and 100, and instead it's now between plus 50 and plus 150. So that's kind of, we kind of like shifted it from being between 0 and 99.99 to being between 50 and 150. And as our final, and as a thing we finally would like to do, let's see what happens if we write equals rand for a 0 to 1 number times 100 to put it to the range of 0 to 100 almost, minus 50. What's going to happen then? Let's put this formula up on the display. Here it is. In that case, when we initially had a number between 0 and 100, the smallest number, 0, becomes now minus 50. And the biggest number, 100, becomes now plus 50. So the number used to be between 0 and 100. We subtracted 50 from it, and now the number is between minus 50 and plus 50. So the smallest number was 0, we subtracted 50 and we get minus 50. The biggest number was 100, we subtracted 50, getting plus 50. So the number is between plus and minus 50. This way we can create any number using our system. There is only one more thing to be said when we have clarified all in this explanation. Namely, an important thing here is to say that this system gives us numbers which are all equally likely, which means that if the numbers are, let's say, minus, or let's take the rand function itself, and let's say the numbers are 0,515,834, okay, or 0,845,883, or let's say 0,32351, then all these numbers come out equally. But in real life, the system is such that middle of the pack numbers, so numbers like 0,5, 0,4, 0,6 come in much more frequently than radical numbers 0,1, 0,9, 0,19.